welcome back to the fourth session. I'm gonna probably wait another minute or two so everyone is there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11. Almost everyone. Cool. We have a lot to say today. A lot of stuff to say. Everyone is gonna have I'm gonna try to have everybody reviewed, those who made a blocking. So if anybody is behind in terms of notes and stuff, um, but we have a lot to say. So if I don't have the time, I'm gonna do like before, doing some notes after work and sending you some stuff. Cool. All right, let's start. I wanted to do, because we are in the middle of the course, I wanted to do like a little summary before we start of like what we talked about until now. So first session was analysis, my vision of acting and so on. I think there were a lot of theory over there. I think it's for me it's probably like the most, if we had to keep thinking of one, is probably the most important session, because it's really about the idea of acting. So if I suggest someone, if you want to go back to it, like I don't know, in a year and see it again, I think the first session, it's probably gonna be useful later on. Second one was about the reference. We talked about how to break down a reference, how to use it. And last session was about the key poses, right? We talked about the key poses, the how to make one, the importance of like taking the time to do one, put each detail in it, trying to um trying to get something um not too much poses, but nice and clean poses. All right. So today I'm gonna go over the hands and the face, like it's on the website, but I think I'm gonna talk also about how to keep going in your shot after you're blocking. So I started pushing like the spline already, some stuff, and I'm gonna explain you my methodology. Um, but I'm gonna also talk about the hand and face, and I think I'm gonna try to do it with some examples that I got, but also through probably your shots. So I'm gonna start with a review and see what you guys did. I think I already watched what you guys sent me. Um, Unless you send it just before the course. But I didn't do much drawing yet on it, because I had like not many hours to put on this week. Started a new job. So let's start with some review. I think the first one who sent me something was uh, Amanda, right? Um, Amanda, or even I think even Olivier. You sent me some stuff first. So let's talk about your shot, Olivier. Mm. Very long shot, a lot of stuff. Um, where are you? I think you sent it after on SceneSketch. All right. Um, okay.
Basically, just the very end, I've only done the blocking on the hand, but the rest is moving.
Yeah. Okay. First, I wanted to talk about this first shot here, because it's a hands, so it fits this session also. Um, I think just in terms of framing, I think if I remember here, it's also because the stuff is bigger. The stuff you did in 3D is bigger. The hand looks quite small in this shot, and you see like the hand. Maybe I'm gonna deactivate this. Sorry, I don't know how to do. I don't know if you see my hand. Good, yeah. Um, it seems quite small in the frame, so it's like weird to have this long arm like this in the frame. Um, you it's like it should be a close up, and it's almost not a close up. Where here was a nice clean close up here of just a simple hand here. So what I
Okay.
suggest is probably to reframe it a bit. We don't need to see all this. We just need a clean frame, maybe a bit more, uh, maybe a bit more of perspective. Why not? Because it's easy to see even if there is some perspective here and and there, and maybe like the hand is gonna be probably a bit bigger in the frame, and then you won't have this long here where we are wondering where how is positioning the character behind. It's too much question for for a simple shot here.
Cool.
So I think reframing it is gonna help. Um, Also, in terms of posing, I feel like it's very pan, like 2D pan here. It's missing some twists here. So, sorry, I think I'm gonna change this zoom settings 'cause I keep disappearing. Uh, 1 second. If I stop sharing here and I share again, second screen like this. And I don't know if I can remove this effect because if I do this, you you still see me?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Better. So yeah, my feeling in here was like a little bit too much like 2D pan. It's probably missing some like you go there and you naturally have this little twist on the hand. So here you have this shape, like very rectangular shape here, and it keeps going over there. So
Okay.
what you could have is because also you're gonna have something reframed. It's also starting to have like probably a shape a bit more like this, maybe. And I don't know if you see well, so my drawing is pretty bad here, but boop boop. Where's the up eraser here? Oop. Maybe it's a bit too much, but at least a bit of twist
Yeah.
here, and you go up to over there. So
Cool.
this is gonna make the 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 evolution of the shot a bit more interesting and probably a bit more natural. Um, Also, one last thing about this hand here is maybe like I know it's not like polished and stuff, but just think of this even in your key poses. It's like don't think those fingers like just a FK chain that goes like from this to this, like this. Think about more of um like a IK arm. It's weird, but like thinking like IK, you're gonna have this stuff here, I think I talked about a bit, is like this contrary rotation. If you have a finger, if I draw a hand, like in profile, for example, and I have this natural shape of the finger like this, and if I do wanna, if I wanna stretch it, I'm gonna do like this finger here. It's gonna go like this, and this finger, this two here, it's gonna go like this. So it's gonna make this kind of stuff. Okay? And here where you get these natural shapes. And it's the same thing as the spine. I think I talked about it last time. It's this stuff like this. So sometimes in movement you're gonna have the like the natural FK chain, but think of stuff that goes like contrary. So if I have something coming from here to there, think of like this push here. So the first metacarb is gonna first yeah, control here is gonna go down, and the rest gonna go up. So you're gonna have this extension here. Here I feel
What you're saying is that I should be like, if it was like a goal, yeah, if they should be going like this
yes,
instead of
exactly.
offsetting.
It's like trying to avoid this very linear FK chain going like this. It's there. It can happen, but it's not very natural. It's not very muscle like anatomically correct. It could happen in a movement if I do like this, for example, boom, then I'm gonna have this FK chain here. But if I go grab something, I'm gonna have this stuff here.
Okay.
So this stuff here, it's important. So here I feel a bit too like 3D each stuff, and the like the also the fact of delaying each finger. Be a bit careful with that because I think it's kind of a rule. We try to break down the all togetherness feeling, but then it's interesting to see a reference and see how you can break down stuff. Sometimes just sometimes just an very simple stuff are working. Here, for example, you have like a small overlap here, a very nice and easy shape with a little bit of negative space here, and you keep the pose, and here you just change a bit this negative space to get the finger go grab the stuff a bit, and then you get this other negative space here coming out, and it's sometimes very very simple and easy.
Cool. I see what you
So
mean.
okay, so about the shot here, it's not this one, it's this one.
I did it, John. I made history. We did it. And I'm the only one left who knows how we did it.
Cool. Awesome. One suggestion I have, because the shot is super, super long, if you wanna push one part, I think I would probably stop before the cry. If it was me, because it gets an extra work, um, where you could just focus on this. I think the evolution is quite nice. It is more subtle. I don't know. If you want, of course, you can keep going on with the rest. But I think the shot is quite big already. It's like more than 600 frames. So if you don't want to burn out on this one, I think you can definitely stop before it's still working. About the main stuff, I think it's going good. A few notes on the oh, what is this? Okay, a few notes on some like design pose, some facial features and stuff again. But main stuff would be probably like the physicality still. I think it's I'm gonna show you after in my shot how I work the spine and everything. It's missing some information. So that's why what I suggest is put the reference behind the character and have the ref in the shot so you can see, because I watched again your reference here and you have some nice information on the
I did it, John.
on the chest, but where it's super hard to go back to your shot and see how to use it because it's too you need to put probably the reference in the scene. Because here you see like there's some small stuff here and there. There's some little detail here that are probably missing a bit on here. You work a lot with the shoulders, I see, to break down a bit the stiffness of the chest. And I think it's if you go in your reference and you look closely of this, and you have this line also, so it's easier to see. But you can look also this line here and see what's going on, and you're gonna see that even if you're not moving much, there's some little stuff like this happening. And what I do, and I'm gonna show it to you guys, is I kind of like push a little bit those stuff so they're more visible for me in my scene. And then after, when I put the feature in the face and etc., maybe I turn it down. But at least when I do my the spline and everything, I want to see all this little movement here because they make my character alive, even without using what I put in on top, meaning like the shoulders, the accents of the head and etc. So what does the spine is bringing the head and bringing all the body. So if you have enough detail in those stuff here, like this, you can have your you're gonna have all this, the realistic detail you're probably missing in here, and I see that it's you want to have those details, so you add some shoulders and some stuff on top to get this. Where the problem is probably coming from the not only the chest, but probably the pelvis as well. You have like some tiny little detail in your pelvis on here and the spine going on like this. But I'm gonna show you on my shot after. So I think this is the first thing. Other thing is like I have the feeling that he's looking a little bit too high. Probably I would go down, not going up with your stuff here, because I think it would look weird. But I think going low with your eyes would be nice because it's gonna push this nostalgia or like sad feeling a bit. Gonna be probably working even better on your shape. Other stuff I can say about the eyes is I think it's missing a bit. I think I need to probably check on the rig after, but it's missing a bit of this volume here, showing the lower eyelid. It's like there is no eyelid here, where I think you could probably push this, at least this one a bit up like this, and have a less rounded. We talked about the how to do a nice curves, and I talked about like what I what I say, like smooth line like this, where there's no interest, there is no inflection point, so it's very
Yeah,
smooth like
it's
this.
very hard on that rig. The controls on the eyelids,
Yeah, I know. Like the only one you can get is this one here, and you can push it a little bit like this and get a bit like this. I think if I get it right on here, you see you can get this shape here a bit. Okay? It's the only one that you could get this control a bit. It's not great, but it's still something. At least there is some shape a bit more. You see, it's a bit more realistic, a bit more interesting.
yeah, I'll
Okay,
have a look
let's.
again. But I think,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't think I was able to do it. Okay, cool.
yeah, you can do it on this like little control here. And I think maybe the part of the eyelid here is, I don't know, it's maybe because of your cheekbone a bit too
Yeah,
high.
yeah.
Remember when you look low, usually we go low on the cheekbones, so it rests a bit the eye and show a bit of this going. In 3D we have this problem, a lot of losing eyelids, and then it looks more cartoony, and because it's missing some volumes. So this is what we can say about the eye. I feel like the mouth shape are way better now. There's less they're not flat anymore. There's some contraction here. I see some volume over there. It's very tiny, but it's what we talked about last time. Um,
I did it, John.
um, Other another thing about the texture you put on the character with the head. Try to find a way to not having this mono-axis feeling. So I think in your reference it was.
I did it, John.
Again, I think it's because of you using the head and the chest a bit like this, but if I look at your reference here, if I look at this line over there, because of your spine, you see that your spine is twisting very slowly here. It's very tiny, but it brings a little bit the head, and you can, even if you don't see it well in your reference, you can push it a bit, and then instead of having something going like this, you can have something going like a little bit less mono axis like this.
I did it, John. I did it, John.
I will talk about the lip sync in the next session more. This session, I'm trying to keep going on with the posing because you guys are mostly in blocking still. I'm gonna talk about my methodology of splining, but the lip sync is something specific that we're gonna probably going specific on it next session.
I did it, John. I did it, John.
I think still that this up and down here, it's a bit too much, where also the breathing up and down with the head like this rotation here, it's a bit blocky, and you see like it goes from there to there in one frame, and it's a bit too much as well. I think you could, let's see what you have in your reference. Maybe it's not the first one you used on the, I don't remember. It's maybe a mix, I don't know.
A mix, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so it's probably gonna be hard to see exactly what you get, but
But the thing is, I tried to put my video reference, and it was just too boring.
yeah. I get it. It's okay.
I did it.
That's why I pushed
I did it,
everything.
John. I did it, John.
So one thing with this character specifically, but one thing that I see a lot in your animation, it's like the stiffness of the neck. Usually they have long necks and stuff, and that's fine. But think of like a little FK chain that goes through the spine, and it really connect to something anatomically. So here is like the spine and the skull, and if you have your neck like this, and if you go like up like this, it's gonna be, if I do like this rotation here with the neck, my neck is gonna go like a bit more like this. I exaggerate it, but a bit more like this. So what I do is on this rig you can have like, you don't have
So it's
any.
an IK, it's kind of an
Yeah.
IK control. So you would use
So
that?
yeah, I use the middle one. I'm gonna show you, but I use the middle one to have this to push it a bit. Also, I use the scale control on the neck to have a little bit of up and down on here. It's very small, but you get some organicity. If I do like this, for example, very important motion here. It's like it's the base of all your accents with the head are based on here. And I do a little bit of a round shape on the neck, but also always a little bit of scale on the neck, boom, to get some organicity. Here I saw on this rig, you cannot scale up the neck. I cannot push the volume here. It's a shame, but usually what I would do is also having the neck a little bit organic here and scale up here. But there is other option we're gonna see later to put organicity on top of it.
I did it, John.
But you see here having like this neck going very up and down like this, a bit too rigid.
I did it, John.
And here you have this motion with the head, and it's really missing the spine we talked about at the beginning, because now we have this big square here, and just on top we have some head moving. So I'm gonna show you, but what I first spline is the root and spine, and it really bring all the small detail I need in the head, at least in translate. In rotate, I'm gonna add all the stuff that you put it, but in translate it's missing some stuff.
I made history. We did it.
Very nice shapes over there. Careful with this eyes here, because I get the idea of it, but it's quite hard to get this white stuff here when you're looking down. It's I think especially in realism, we we see that the eye, normal eye, I would say, is like this. If I am just drawing like a normal eye, is like the eyelid is overlapping a bit on top here. This is like a lazy eye. If I draw a lazy eye, I'm gonna draw like somewhere here, and someone is like bored or just tired. And like a surprised eye, it would be touching here, just a millimeter of white maybe on here, and a bit on on the lower eyelid, and the white, really white on one side or the other. Here is like terrified. Is like it's really, if I'm like really terrified or really something over scary, that brings all this white here. So be very careful, guys, when you do your animation of this space over there. It's usually very close, and it goes on top of the eye like this, and so if you want an open eye, like you want here, like is just saying like we did it, I would just go like this, and just show the entire eye would be way enough. It will depend, of course, of the contrast between the others, but I think with this eye here would be it's gonna be enough. And probably you have too much of the lower eyelid, because it goes almost to the middle of the eye, and where it starts being too much just to see. It starts having like, even here, I think I'm not in the middle, not even so. So be careful with that. It goes a bit too high here.
Cool.
Here it's good. Here's the expression, it's good. I think it's the right one. Be just careful. I noticed something with this shape here. It brings a lot of the cheeks here, and it almost looks like this. So be careful with this shape here. If you do this, I think I see what you want to do with with this. Just maybe push a bit the cheeks inside, so we don't have the feeling that it is doing this air shape. Okay.
And I'm the only one. And I'm the and I'm
And the stagger thing of like A B A B A B A B like this, you really want to have something a bit more chaotic, not on one axis, but just having like maybe like two in the same axis and then change a bit, having some nice change here, and
and I'm the only
try also to have some natural evolutions. That means like the spacing is not the same in each on each frame. You can switch. I don't think I have a proper stagger here, but I remember I had some um, noise here and there. I think it was on this one. I think it was so. I don't know, it's just on some features. But if you look at the nose and the nostrils here, for example, if you take a look of this shot, So I have some ups and down, and then change the posing, and then I don't have the shake anymore, and then I have one. I try to break down this very 2D feeling of like having a stagger of something shaking a bit too evenly.
Anyone left who knows
But
how
I think it's good to put it there, like you did, so you show the idea, and then you can see if it's at least the intensity is enough or not.
and I'm the only one. And I'm, and I'm,
Right now, I think it's too much on the shoulders. I think the shoulders are moving a bit like this, and I think it's probably gonna be a bit on the face, and then maybe you're gonna have like one little move on the body that bringing a bit, changing the axis of the head, but not so much on the shoulders, and probably not so much on the neck either.
I'm the only one left who knows how we did it.
Cool. About this shape here, I think it's not appealing. I think it's too broken. We're losing the volume on here, and it's too much on the neck. So I think because your back is going backward, you're going like this. I think you want to put back a bit of naturalism in the head like this, going back a bit with the neck on here. And I think this motion here is important, but because you're doing the root and the spine also, you can have a little bit of going low with the neck, and then going back with the head, and then gonna have this kind of pose, not like this actually. Where?
So the chin is doing an arc going down then.
Yeah, a bit more, and I think it's too much in the same axis as well. I think you could use this change to get a nice angle, maybe going toward us, for example, like this. Up. Why not? Or another one. But I think changing the axis here, because here it's your character is there like this, and then you go like this, and you see you're locked very very fast. And if I go like this, I have some space, and also if I use the chest and everything. But again, I think it's up to you, but I think the shot is already interesting until here. So it's up to you if you want to do all this stuff. It's for me, it's like an extra shot to do because there is a connection with the hand and everything. Okay, cool. I think I talked enough of this. You
There
get
was just
the idea?
one thing, like last week you were talking about the teeth. Like yeah, normally in cartoony animation we favor like upper teeth or low teeth. Because it's an up angle and because of the emotion. So I wanted to show more the bottom teeth. So what would you do? Would you hide the top teeth then?
You mean here, or you mean in the end?
No, throughout, because last week you told me about
I think that it came out quite naturally here. I wouldn't hide anything. I think you can have like sometimes having a little bit of those. I think it's like generally like in realism, like for natural acting, there is not such a thing as rules like this. It's more like what looks designed, what looks good, and also looking in your reference, see what's going on with this angle with the camera and stuff, and try to get close to the anatomy. So I wouldn't hide any teeth in any realistic shots. It's more like what's going on, for example, like the here, but we're gonna talk about the lip sync and stuff, but the lips here is kind of sticking to the lower lip, and then going back up, and then so I don't know where is the normal design. Is it this pose here, or is it this pose here? What is the size of here?
what I'm implying is that the lips are, because of the moisture, they're stuck, so they unglue themselves. It happens
Yeah.
like
Okay.
moisture on the lips, so that's what was that's the detail.
Yeah, okay. I would probably not go to that big in terms of spacing because it's like a very slow motion, like motion, normal, natural motion here. So I would go probably for something going like this and this. You keep this and then you open like this. But we're gonna talk about this later on. Cool. Like you see here, the I think the eyes, it's too big in the lower part of the eyes. It's getting too big. It's almost look like if I'm like this. Okay. So cool. I keep going. Sorry. Yes. Last question.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Keep going a bit. So just for you to know, I think I'm gonna go over 2 hours today because I have a bunch of stuff to say. I hope you guys have time. If you don't, I hope the recording are working. Did you guys see the recording of the previous session? I don't know. I had some question from
Yeah, we only
people.
only got it 2 days ago.
Mm. Okay, but it's still working. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay, let's keep going a bit on here. I think I'm gonna try to do a bit more of this. If I don't have time, I'm gonna go on something else, but I have stuff to talk about after. This shot of Amanda on here.
What
Cool.
do you feel happening exactly? It's like panic, like this expectation from people to be something I don't think I'm good enough to be. And what do you feel?
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. It's nice posing here.
Exactly. It's like panic.
Very clear.
Like this expectation from people to be something I don't think I'm good enough to be. And
The rigs, I mean, the design seems quite hard sometimes to manage because it's very specific shapes. But I think you did a good job here. I think the hand suggestion I asked you about, like the keeping the pose at the beginning, it's working nice. You don't need to all this stuff going on. I think it's working nice like you did. Some stuff about your how you push the poses, it's a bit too much. It's a bit too much sometimes. I'm gonna show you. So if I take this stuff here, it's looking very high, where it's probably because of the design as well, but I feel like she's very like this. So I think just before here was better, but you're looking high again a lot. So probably if you turn down a bit this backward feeling here, it's almost like she loses a bit the balance on here, so be careful of that. And here it's even higher, so I would turn down a bit. I think this head the angle here is probably the maximum, and here I see the connection you have in your reference here, but I think here you pass through the limit and it starts to be a bit wonky here. And here is the same. It goes too high compared to the natural pose here you have. Also, I think it's maybe because of the design and also the camera. Here I see that the perspective here, it's like your phone is at this level here. That means like it shows your face naturally in low angle. On here, if I look, it's somewhere here, I think. So the angle on the face is gonna be a less low. So it's some stuff that sometimes you think that you're a lot like this, and sometimes you're not so much in this angle. So be careful with those pose.
like this expectation.
After here, yeah, probably have some be careful also like probably with this, but again, because of this very cartoony shapes, this big eyes seems a bit more normal, I would say.
Like panic.
On here, I think that's it's a bit too pain in the face here. It's a bit too also like you have like this very flat shapes on all the features. So be a bit careful like with that and see what you what you can get. I feel like this is a bit like this and still a bit of contraction, but there is some stuff going on here. Probably like this. It shows a bit more uh, like this than I'm in pain like this. Here is almost like she's gonna cry. It's probably a bit too much. Um, and and on your reference here, I think you're more looking down probably than than really closing so much your eyes. So see if what you can get. Also, I think like here there is an interesting line here. I know that you changed the hands, but you could still you're still doing this root thing where you go forward. So you could favor this angle a bit more and have some nice contrary shape like this. This is going like this is going like this, and this is going like this. So think of those.
Like this expectation from people would be.
And those eyebrows are kind of weird, but I think it might be because of the design. I don't want to say too much about it, but I feel like sometimes they look nice like this, and some again I think here it's too much of rotation on the head again. And sometimes they look weird, where like it looks a bit like not very shapy. Also, it looks empty over there. So if you could just put can I get probably yes, no, I don't know if I can get the color right. Yes, black color here. If I can get a bit more of this and a bit more shape of a solid shape, let's say like this, like already it seems a bit more natural. All right.
Something I don't think I'm.
And here And here's something I want to say about those shapes like this. I know it's some stuff we see everywhere. Like we have like favorite angles like this with this stuff like this. And I would say it's a good rules and stuff, but be careful with that. If you want to do realism, it's it should be very tiny. It should be so tiny that we don't actually see it. It's more in the flow sometimes. It's less in the pose. I think here it's okay. It's not too much, but be careful not doing too much of like one like this, just to say, hey, I'm looking there. It's very DreamWorks, Disney, they use a lot of this. And I mean, DreamWorks they're not doing too like realistic stuff. It's let's be careful with that if you want to do naturalistic animation.
Something I.
Here it's too much. Here is like it's very pushed and it looks like animation more than uh like naturalistic animation. So because I'm doing this realistic animation course, I want to say be careful with that. You will never see this from or maybe, but in Arcane and stuff like that, and in Dragon and this kind of like trying to be naturalistic actings. We're very careful with that, except if the character mean to be cartoony and funny or whatever. So
Don't
yeah,
think I'm
be careful.
good enough to be,
And here, I wanted to do like wanted to do a little special note on this one, because here is the emotion you want to tell is I'm smiling because I'm hiding my emotion. It's what I understand, but it seems like a very sincere smile, and and because of the context and everything, and you understand that it's I'm smiling to hide my tears, my pain. So how do you make this in animation? It can be very hard because the design is very different, especially with a design so cartoony. So I think I'm gonna try to do it very quick on drawing. Boop. Like this, copy here, and I'm gonna try to put it there if it's working. All right, let's see what you get. So what you have this design and you want to do this pose here, and your words you put it there is sincere, like it's not sincere smile because it's hiding something, so it's like I'm smiling, smile plus hidden sadness. Okay, this is what you want to get. But again, if you look at this picture here and you don't see the animation before, it's like, maybe it's just a smile. But because your character is so designed and everything, you want to be a bit more accurate than this. This is more like a cool smile where you're doing a joke to someone is like, good one. A bit too much of this shape here. The eyebrows are very nice, but they're probably not saying the right thing. So I'm gonna try just to reshape this a bit. So what I'm gonna do is just quickly draw over this guy here. Boop. So I'm gonna draw over her like this, redo what you did, and try to change it. So very quick. So I think we talked about it, but in realistic acting, you wanna be very accurate with your facial poses. So they need to be clear enough, and sometimes you need to change reality to be a bit more accurate in your posing in the dialogue, the internal dialogue you want to say, the emotion of the character should be readable in the main poses. So here you're doing your main poses, your key poses. So let's see what we can do. Okay, so here we go, and a bit of this, boom. Okay, up. All right, so I'm gonna hide this guy, and here it shows nicely the idea. I think I'm missing some of probably the lip here, something like this. All right, so what if I change this to show what we want to reach? It's this stuff, smile, hidden sadness. Okay, so first of all, I think, yes, up. I think I talked about it last time, but this shape of, where are you? Hoop. This shape of the smile here, it's dangerous. It's dangerous because if you analyze your smile, your realistic smile, it's kind of flat. This stuff here is pretty flat, or even going low sometimes. You see, it's even this shape here. If I smile, it's kind of flat. Okay, so this says a lot. That means like this shape, like a U, I think I talked about it already, but it's a dangerous one. You wanna use it very carefully. So on your stuff here, what I'm starting to do is like changing a bit this one here and going low, a bit more flat, and see what happens. Is she still smiling? Yes, she is. I want her to smile more, to be more expressive and hide more her emotion. I'm gonna go stretching this stuff a bit. Maybe it's too much here, but here, if I start stretching, I'm gonna get this expression here. Maybe not with your rig, but if you can have a little volume here, you're gonna get. And already here, compared to the one I had over there, already here I have something a bit different, a bit more interesting. What about the eyebrows? If I want to show a tiny bit of pain behind all this, I'm gonna go touch this stuff over there and bring a bit of this. Again, could be hard with your rig. That's why I'm doing it in 2D. But the sometimes the job of the animator just to find a way to get what you want with the tool you have. So you get this stuff here. And already here I have something a bit more tight, a bit more subtle. And if I can want to push it, I can push it a bit and see where I get. Okay? And here is how you get a bit more realistic and complex shapes and emotions. It's sometimes by just penning down what we used to do in cartoon, a lot of shapes like this, very design and stuff. And here we get back to something more solid, more anatomically correct, like closer to what we get here. But we still want to know which features are used for what. So here I want to have a little bit of pain. I'm gonna use this stuff here. Okay, I'm gonna push a bit this. So if I had like another rig, probably I would put a bit of this, but here it seems, oh, you have a bit of eyelid, so you can get the eyelid, but I think the eyelids were just right. And maybe you wanna get this stuff here, and you can keep pushing until it looks too obvious, and then you stop. Okay, you get the idea. Cool. I didn't see the chat coming on, so great to have a recording before the weekend. Yes, I'm gonna ask Juan for the recording. I am not in charge of this at all, so I hope it's working. Cool. Let's go back to your shot and maybe go to the next one.
Something I don't think I'm good enough to be, and
very nice hands. Nice pose in general. Keep going. Just turn down some of the accentuation, the exaggeration you put in the pose and in the design of the face also. But good job. I keep going a bit. Yeah, so like we talked also about the neck, and through the neck, I saw that Olivier did this note here, and through the neck it's a bit the same problem. So find a way to sometime design it a bit more, just having a little bit of this. Maybe it's a bit too long, but I think it comes with the note of the head going too high. It shows a lot of this, and then you have this long shape here. So if you go a little less high, you're gonna have probably something over there, and it's gonna look better. But if you have a little bend here, try to get this stuff here. Try to understand where is your spine and see how it is. So your spine is probably something like going up like this. So you have this stuff going like this, so you can exaggerate just a bit this. Okay, that's great. Stefano on here. Cool. Blocking plus. Okay, I didn't see the blocking plus, just show the fast blocking. Let's take a look at this.
I think they should get their best driver, who's also a great poet, a brand new bus. It's the least they could do.
City of Patterson? Not likely.
Well, I think they should get their best driver, who's also a great poet, a brand new bus. It's the least they could do.
City of Patterson?
Cool.
Not likely.
That's cool. I think I have a bit the same note as Olivier. I think you're forgetting a bit this part over there. All this is like super important. Careful about what's happening in the body. Because what's going on now is like you're moving your neck alone here with your head, and you're putting a bit of shoulder to say, it's connected. Look. No, it's careful with that. Like if I look closely, your reference here, it's probably moving a bit, and it is moving a bit like this. And here there is this complex stuff going on. So it's already better than the first blocking. It was missing a bit of this. But let's see.
Well, I think they should get their best driver, who's also a great.
So here it's really missing some stuff going on the chest. So try to see, because now it's very isolating the neck and head. Try to see what you can get. Also, like there is this very nice stuff going on because you're against the wall. The pivot point is around here. Make sure you're using the good pivot point here. So the trick I use to doing this, it's super easy. It's on Animbot. Here you have the where are you? It's the temp pivot here. So the temp pivot is super useful if I'm leaning on the wall. I'm gonna put the temp pivot on the back of the head like this, for example, and I'm gonna move the head, and it's gonna have the good pivot point here. So I can have like the good rotation and have like some nice and fluid stuff. This stuff is just magical. It's you can do it, for example, if you're doing like suffering on the chauffeur, just want to move the hand like this. Don't do like all the translation stuff. Just take this temp pivot here, and you're gonna put it where you want. For example, on here, if I want to do a nice rotation on the table over there. Boop. Okay, it's not perfect, but over there, for example, and I can even rotate it like this. And now I do my rotation and gonna follow just the right pivot. Okay, super useful. Just be sure you do it on your shot.
Yeah, I see. Good point.
Cool. You're gonna get this nice stuff here. Make sure it's not pinned still, because it's still a wall, so you're sliding a bit on it. But for the rotation, you're gonna have the good thing. One other stuff that you're missing that is really nice in your reference is this angle here. You see, like this angle below the head is very nice. It looks super natural in your reference. I really loved your reference for that. I think make sure you get it. Make sure your character is a bit in perspective like this. Boom. And get a bit of this low angle stuff, okay? It's more important, way more important than this angle of the eyebrows just showing like this, okay? I think it's something I say to my animators is like in acting the head angle is probably the main important thing, more than the lip sync, more than everything. It's like it says a lot. It's if I look at you, like this, like you are in your reference. It shows a lot of it shows already how close you are to a person because I talked to you a bit like this. So make sure you get this very nice pose here.
Also a great poet, a brand new book.
On here, you're gonna after when you're gonna push the posing and stuff, you're gonna see that make sure you get all the mechanic here because it's very clear. So your chest is going up because you're laughing a bit, so it's doing this on the side, is doing this very nice thing where you get this stuff like this. So make sure you do it here. For now, you have only 2 poses. And also what's going on is it shows a bit, again, a bit more this pose on Z, the Z axis here. And on your stuff, maybe you can push it again. Oh, again, I think it's missing a bit the angle. It's a bit too flat on this guy. And here it's I want to see, you see like the connection between the head and the face is very nice here, and I want to see it a bit more. So maybe if you have the opportunity to scale a bit the neck, to scale up a bit the neck in like a bit more large, you can have some a bit more solid neck, and you can have this pose here where you get a simpler line here. Here I feel like the neck is more on the right side and on the right side of the face, where here it's definitely more in the left side. So even if you cannot scale up the neck, you can make it clearer if you're more on this side here. So
I will
also,
check because I know that I cannot scale it because I tried and the head was scaled with it.
okay.
But maybe with some band controls or something.
Yeah. Okay. You don't have,
Okay.
if you cannot scale it, it's okay. But at least getting in the right pose here. You see what shows this neck here. It shows that the character, your chest it's a bit like this. Okay. Just with the neck position, you can understand almost the whole body. It shows that your body it's leaning this way and your face is leaning the other way, so it shows a bit this twist angle, which is really nice, and which you could push a bit in your shot, showing a bit more shoulder here, a bit less, but because you're like this, it's still not so visible, but at least you have this very nice angle here. So make sure you have the right angle. So I think your reference was very, very good. It was all the information was there, so I don't want you to miss the subtlety you have here. So for me, when you get a good reference and when you have like an acting shot where you get the good reference, it's the easiest way. It's the easy mode of animation. You just have to make it work. You have all the everything every question you have is on here. You just have to open your eyes and understand what you see. And same problem here of the head going a bit alone here, and you see it's subtle, but if you analyze this, it's still moving. Okay, it's still moving on here, and so what you want is putting already in your poses. So at least in the end, when you're after doing your poses, you know that there is this movement, even if it's tiny. You know that there is a movement going on here. If you don't put the movement on your poses, then you're gonna finish your blocking, go to spline and say like, okay, there is this empty movement here, like the blank animation. What do I do? I don't know. Let's put some up and down, breathing and stuff, and then you're gonna lose the tightness, the realism in here. If you make, yes,
I think I could benefit from what you said earlier, like amping up a bit the movement, because I think I toned it down too much. I was too
Okay.
minutia with that
Yes,
because
yeah, see, there is one.
because
Yeah.
I moved every pose, but I think I need to pump a bit, pump
Yes,
it
I'm
up.
gonna show you after. It's the same problem like Olivier. I'm gonna show you how I fix it early in my blocking and up to my spline.
City of Patterson.
What I would put before you go too far, what I would put is this as a key pose as well. We talked about in the first session about like the A plus pose, the posing in the posing, and here's exactly what you have. Like, you anticipate the what you're gonna say, and here putting the stuff here with the little movement going on also, it's gonna put a very nice in between already. So.
City of Patterson.
And here, what's going on here? On here, also, what you're missing a bit is you have something a bit flat on the neck again, and it shows something very stretched. And I think it's probably come from your general posing. Make sure your character in perspective is really leaning on the wall, and then you're gonna have this spot here flat, and then you cannot go too much like this, and that's why you have this very specific angle here. And here I think you go probably too high on X rotation, and also you're missing this stuff here where your spine were somewhere like this, and so you have this um, very clear line here, and your spine is like you can see through the shadow here, but it's really doing this. And here what you have is something a bit opposite here. So make sure you have your character really bending, like leaning on the wall, and make sure you get a more organic feeling here. Again, maybe scaling down a bit the neck would help, maybe to get a bit more this feeling like this, because I'm leaning on here and maybe the neck is just too much like this. So see to get something a bit more compact. I think like this pose here is very clean and clear. You have like the negative space here is super clean, and here you can probably get it by shaping a bit all this. Okay, so it's just get a bit closer to your reference on this case. And here it's the same, it's going too high, probably. It's going a bit too high, and it shows some very tense neck like this. I want to see some like relaxed neck like this. Okay, so maybe it's maybe the length of the control the neck. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe you find a way, squash it, push it. I don't know.
All right.
It shows a bit too much, and see it's very boop like this, where here it's a bit more like curved like this. Okay, so make sure you have all the dynamism you have in your reference, get it on your screen as well. About the other character, I think it's getting good.
Well, I think they should get their best driver, who's also a great poet, a brand new bus. It's the least they could do.
City of Patterson.
Here it's the same. I think you have a nice pose here where here is a bit flat. So keep getting a bit your stuff in perspective. You see that here the neck is going forward. The neck is almost doing this. It's bending like this, And so it's very interesting. See what you can get on here. But I think this shape here, it's quite interesting. You can push it a bit to get probably this feeling. And here it's pretty good. I feel like it's a bit better on this character. The angles and stuff, you can keep pushing a little bit to get closer, but the idea is good. The idea is there. Oop. But see what you can get again of like this stuff here. See if you can get maybe like the neck a bit more like this. Reshaping a bit this like this.
Overall, working a bit more on the depth.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like get your poses a bit more subtle, a bit more shapy with the neck and everything, and the poses are there. The emotion I feel are good. Like the facial features are okay. I don't see specific problems.
I
On
went very off model with the eyes because I wanted something less cartoony. So my eyes are very much smaller. So I
I
spent a
think
lot of
it's
time on those.
yeah, yeah, but I think it's good. They're looking good. They can look a bit wavy here and there. Be careful with
Yeah,
this kind of shape here. So basically, the rule I would say, if there is one rule to get, is like your inflection point we talked about is supposed to be on here all the time, because you know, like the shape of the eye on profile, it goes, you know, you have the cornea around here, and the eyelid is basically supported by the cornea. So the eye on profile is looking like this. That's why you get you should get something a bit more like this, a bit more tense. But I feel like you have it most of the time. Sometimes it's a bit this shape here, it's a bit annoying. You should get something a little bit more like this.
because
But
I did a lot of reference interpretation as well.
mhm.
I was trying to fit to fit those shapes in. So it was a learning curve to be sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, but it's going good. Be careful when you get to the side, not to get your eyes too cropped by the eyelid. Usually we get this control over there. You can push it there, so you get the space to have your eye like this. This is a very important stuff. So what I usually do is like also you can push this one here, and then having a little bit of organicity on those controls here. It should be very, very tiny in your spline in the end. Like just to get your eyes good in the shapes, you can touch those. It depends on the rig also. I feel like this shape is very natural and nice. Um, Here is pretty good also. Here it's going in exactly good shape. I think it's really nice. The volume on the face is really cool. It's just missing this neck stuff to get and the orientation. I feel like the volumes are quite good. And here it's nice as well on the eye. I don't know if you can get rid of this bump here to have like a clean shape like this. Cool. Is it clear for you?
Yes,
Good.
thank you so much.
No worries. Okay, it's like already quite late, but I want to see if I can do another one. So, I didn't see the others. I think they're from today. Uh, okay, let's do a quick stuff, and if I need to do some drawing, I'm gonna do them tomorrow. I think I saw this one already. Cool. Yeah, I saw this one just before the course. one thing I saw, because we're talking about the hands, I think it's a good example. Here you have like very good shapes in your reference that got a bit broken by your character, and I know it because there is not so much control on the hands. Just for you to know, on the shot like on the show like Arcane, on the hands, like I always used, you know, the stickies we talked about just to reshape and stuff. And there is a lot of controls already. I can scale it and so on. But the hands in 3D are always bad if we're not like using like reshaping it. So here you have like this very triangular shape, which are very nice. And here we get this very rectangular shape like this. So I don't know if you can touch it a bit and get this a bit more like this. And you see like this flat shape here could be a bit more like this. And here using the overlap to do so. But still it's good. The other thing that doesn't help you is like you can put some transparency in the glass. First of all, I think the glass is too big. It doesn't help you can scale it down and use transparency. So you put the shader on and you change the transparency super easy. And then you're gonna have this nice pose here on the thumbs that like helps a lot reading the the shape of the hands. Also like here, it's really nice what you get, and here is a bit too flat here. So those are not helping too much. The having the pose, but mainly it's almost there. You just need a little bit more work on it. After that, the I feel like the main idea of the pose is there. Of course, sometimes the rig it's can be hard. So here, for example, like those gigantic negative space are not really helping the shot. Where here you had like a very clean shape that so maybe you need to you know, push a bit inside those arms and get this. Just after the review, I'm gonna talk about the how I think the hands and the arm in general. But just before I'm doing a bit of this, so get a bit of this right, maybe a bit more like this just to it's mostly it's this like in animation like your reference were good so in animation it's like how do you use your tool to not get it wrong after so it's sometimes changing a bit the proportion on here. Of course in a show you cannot change so much the proportion, but here because it's like a personal shot you can change the proportion. Nobody's gonna say it's not you know like big enough. Okay, so here is like what you can get for having something a bit more solid. And here, careful of those negative space here. All those you can get rid of those easily.
Do you feel yourself content? I have all that a man could want.
Here also it's very like this. Maybe you can if you look a bit more closely, it's probably less like this. So you can probably get a bit more. So when you have something that shows a weakness in your pose, and you try to find a solution to it, you get a reference and you look at it and you say like, okay, it's very it's very straight still in the reference, but is it so straight? Is it somewhere that some hints of some things that I could push to get something good? And here is the solution. You get to it and you get this. So you get this pose a bit more like this angle, like this, and you can push it a bit if you need. The pose here, it's very there's a big arc. Maybe you can get something a bit more subtle, a bit more flat, and somewhere here, get something a bit more feeling the muscle a little bit connected. You know, like this kind of flat. If I do this, it's pushing a bit. I feel like this one it's a bit better. On this character, you have this stuff here. You have the control here to get this. You can put it a bit on this kind of pose, just to get, you know, the feeling of some connection between this line, on like, because this line is like alone inside of this empty skin, and you want to make the connection between this feature and the rest of the feature. So in the animation, it's gonna go through the connectivity of each feature, but already in the pose, how can I make it connected? Okay, if I do this, I add a little bit of this and gonna help. And here's where you lose a bit the realism with this pose. First, because you're changing too much this size here. It goes very, very tiny. Where here you see, even if it's like from a O, which is low, to a smile, which is shrinked, it's less than what you did. And then you have like, because the character, the design is already pushed, you have this gigantic space here and very tiny here. So be careful with this stuff here. And again, the smile. I know the smile is a big problem in animation, like in realism. It's always there. Each shot with a smile is like just how to make it work, because we tend to go a bit like this, where you see that sometimes, no, maybe not all the time, but sometimes it goes low, and a bit of this, you have this nice shape like this. Maybe you could use this one, but this one is too on the size, and it shows a bit this. You could have this, but then if you have something like this, then your nose is going to be like this, and you're going to have this gigantic uh, wrinkle here, and probably some cheekbones going on, and it says something else, says you know, this kind of stuff. Here it's more like sincere smile, bright, not something weird and too pushed. And here, I think it's the same problem here. And even you lose the perspective here. Going a lot like this should follow this line a bit, and maybe you even move the teeth to get the shape right. Don't do that. I don't know if you did, but keep your teeth in the good direction, and make sure your lips are connected to it. I think you have all the information in your reference. This moment was really good. So it goes to this showing a bit of teeth here. Very simple, very natural. What we want to reach is natural poses. Good poses in realistic acting feels natural, feels real. Here it feels crafted and designed a bit more like we talked about, you know, like the cartoony stuff we saw. Also, I think in your pose, I see something a little bit weird, because I see here this stuff. Maybe your guy is like is a bit leaning, at least looking at this direction, and here I feel like you're looking in this direction with the chest. Make sure you have something in the good orientation for your shot, so it doesn't look a bit odd, you know. But the hand pose here, it's too parallel. You can definitely get what you have in your reference. It's something like this super nice drawing of the pose. You can push it a bit, craft it a bit more to get something solid. Don't get how do you say, like, don't let the rig and the 3D win over you. You need to push the tool until it respects you. I mean, like what you want is this because it looks nice. You need this. Boom. I know that on this character it's super hard to get this, but you need to find a way visually to get this solid shape here. Okay? And don't want all this stuff here. I'm not saying that you should copy paste your reference. I'm just saying like some stuff that you have in your reference, like this shape here, it just shows the weight of your character on the table. It shows that your character is solid on the table, and here it shows something different. It shows some weirdness here and there. So I know that it's hard, and that's why I talked about the time spending on the key poses. It takes time, and you're gonna learn how to get faster by doing it. But don't say to yourself, okay, I need to spend like 10 minutes per post, 15 minutes. No, if it's an hour, if it's 2 hours to get this pose done, this pose is half of your shot. So if you get it done, half of your shot is gonna be good. If you get it wrong, half of your shot is gonna be wrong. So spend some time on it. This expression is quite good. Probably like a bit too complex on the mouse, but I like this subtlety you have here. It's very clean, subtle. Just maybe the mouse a bit too on the one side. Don't think that asymmetry is getting stuff like this. Okay, asymmetry on. Okay, here is a mouth, for example. Okay, here's a mouse. Okay, with the nose and stuff. Okay, what is asymmetry? In realism, like in cartoon, is what you did. Like just to put the mouse on here and you get this kind of shape. Okay, in realism, it can be just this one a bit open and here we go. A little bit of asymmetry is just enough to break the 3D-ish feeling, okay? Just need to have some stuff here. And I think if you look at your shape here, again, maybe it's perfectly symmetric, probably not, but maybe it is. And if it looks symmetric, then see what you can do. Maybe you can close. Okay, it's a bit too small, but maybe you can open a bit more this side than this one. See? And you have like some natural shape that feels natural, asymmetrical, but not, like this. Great. I think it's quite good for you. I hope you get the idea of it. I think it's going good. Keep pushing the poses. And now I'm gonna go to show my.
Can I ask a question really quick?
Sure, go ahead.
I was wondering if you should like stick first of all the hand pose. I don't know if is too complex and I have to simplify it or just stick with the reference and as you were saying, just really craft the pose to match it with the reference. So
I
that
think
was
it depends.
something.
Yeah. Okay, I get the idea. Yeah. It's a good question actually. I'd say like if your reference too complex, sometimes it's good to simplify. But I
Okay.
think here, when I say simplify, it's never is it simple to do. Sometimes it's hard to
Yeah,
do, but
sure.
it's simple. It's simple in the shape. And here it's exactly what you get. Like this shape of your hand is super simple and very designed. It's actually really good. You see,
Yeah.
it's like it's very in the shape. You have so I think you should definitely get this.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So you should get see what you can do. I think it's really
Yeah.
possible to make it work. It's just sometimes you need to scale stuff around, and sometimes you use stickies, and apparently so the sticky tool is not working with the Maya 2023.
Yeah, I know.
So use the 2022. I didn't know either, so I was trying to make it work. I was like, okay, not working. But I think no, this shape is really simple. Sometimes when I want to simplify stuff is, for example, it's not really in this one, but if you had like your pose a bit too push like this, uh, sometimes I want to simplify, for example, the shoulder to get a really nice line here. So I'm going to push the shoulder low so I simplify the shape. I do this a lot. I'm doing like fight sequence this at the moment, so I'm doing a lot of stuff like that where I put the I draw the character like this and then I get so here I have the neck on here with the head, for example. So I could have this and the neck and blah blah blah. And so I try to push the neck forward to get this very clean shape. So my character is having like this nice simplified shape. So this is simplified, but this for me it's more like good shape. It's sometimes hard to make.
Yeah, I know.
Cool.
Okay, and one last thing is more
Yeah,
of a technical question.
yeah.
Would you do this in IK definitely, right? And just elbow pin
Oh,
the table,
good
or
question.
how would you do it?
Okay, good question. Let's take a look of this. It's a good question. Yes, yeah, definitely. I would do it in IK because it's not moving out of all this is pin, but there is something very weird with the pin elbow is like you're gonna get your arms this part here stretching around because of the movement of the body. Okay, so when you want to make sure you have two options, or you are more a technical guy and you can make like this constraint stuff where you do a locator here saying like the length of this not gonna change and you can constrain the elbow to the arm so it's actually gonna look like this when you move it's gonna be connected with the or you do it by eyeball it. I mean like every time you're gonna move your body backward you're gonna have to move the elbow so to compensate this. Okay.
Yeah.
Personally, I build stuff because I don't want to. If the rig is good enough and there is this um, shoulder constraint possible, I use it. But if it's not, I just eyeball stuff and I make sure it's not bending and stretching around. But yeah, definitely, I would put probably even like constraint. So what I would put is like this guy, for example, leading the whole stuff. So I'm gonna put like this control here, constraining the hand here, and this hand constrained by the glass, for example, or and then I have one hand that I control everything with it. And when I lose the control here, just do switch. So if there is no I think with ZV parent you can switch very easily, okay? But if you guys have ever a problem with switching from one controller to one parent space to another, there is this very, very useful tool that is from EBLab, not EBLab, the Animbot. Is super handy and it's very easy to use. For example, I don't have any switch control from this to FK and I need to go to FK at some point. So let's take a look. Where are you? It's over there. So I go inside one pose here and I go to FK and breaks everything, right? Okay. So I want to get back to this or even the opposite. So I'm here and I want to get this pose to IK. So what I do here is I can do the copy, world copy. I think it's there. Copy X from here. Uh, Where are you? Oh, I think I just have to click once
Yeah,
on this one. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
I click once, and after I switch to IK, and you see that it's destroyed, and then I right click here and I paste, and then it get to the exact same pose. So this tool is very handy. It can be used for
Yeah.
the switch between like props and stuff, and
Yeah.
it can be a mess. Instead of like putting it and you can use it, this stuff.
Cool.
Cool. I see there is some question here. Any plans for making a Polish class? Yeah, we'll see, Amanda. We'll see. Maybe I'm gonna ask also with Jorge, but I think I'm gonna go um, over just blocking. I'm gonna go through splining a bit during this class because I think in acting it doesn't make sense to do like two blocking at twos. It's not useful. I use spline a lot in acting. It's not like when I do like a cartoony or like a fight sequence, then I'm gonna craft each pose to on twos maybe like after I go to one. But in acting, I it's a very subtle movement, so I don't want to mess with like blocking on twos and stuff. So I use a lot of the graph editor, and I'm gonna show you this right now. Sorry for the others. I'm gonna switch to the rest of the class so I don't do just reviewing. As I told you, I think I'm gonna go way over 2 hours today because I have a lot to say. So first, I wanted to talk a bit of the use of hands in animation, but not just in animation, also like in how humans moves. So the hands are very talkative. They're used for communication a lot. And up, reconnect here. And I mean by this, but the fact that you can usually when you use the hand in the shot, if it's a close-up, that it brings really something else. It's almost like another character. It's a lot of work usually, but it's for something. Don't use the hand just to because you don't know what to do with the head. Like most of the acting, the character don't talk with hands specifically. We're gonna see that it depends of the characterization of your character, but it also depends of the level intensity of the emotion. The more the emotion is intense, the more you're gonna use the hands in the screen because it's gonna go closer to the face. So the idea of it is kind of a rule. It's like if I'm talking uh, without any specific emotion, I can hold my pelvis like this. I can be like this. I can have my hands in my pockets and stuff, but I'm not specifically gonna use my hands. I'm gonna talk with my head. I'm gonna do some accents with my head, do some pose like this, and sometimes I'm gonna use my hands to say something very specific. Well, like here I'm teaching, so I use hands. You can see me using hands because I'm thinking specific things that I really want to be clear, so I'm gonna use specific hand poses. Okay? And something that I'm very careful when I'm doing animation, it's the distance between the hand and my chest and my body. Okay? I see a lot of animators tend to put the hand a bit further, too far from the body. I think the hand should be somewhere very close. If you want to have some natural acting, should be somewhere close to your body. And think of the distance between it. If you and do it sometime when you're talking to a friend or when you're talking and you get to a pose, think of like, okay, where is my hand? Is it far? How far? Is it 20 centimeters? Is it like 10 centimeters? And think of this. And I realized that it was very close to this. And I realized also that the more intense, the more stressed I am or involved I am, the more close to my face it goes. If I'm very, very nervous, I would go like this. And if I'm just casually talking, I can talk just like this. And I do like, hey, I don't know, you know. So this is something you can think about. Like it's not a rule. There's nobody is gonna say something, and then you can also use hands for specific stuff that you cannot show or you want to push. Just you cannot show just with the head, with the face. But here I got some shot from again Babylon, so at least I spoil you only one movie. Um, I just was scrolling in the show and I got some stuff here. So here is a girl. She's embarrassed because she like another girl during a show and another girl come and kiss her, and she's like funny but at the same time a bit embarrassed by the situation, and so she goes to this pose here. So she's laughing, but because of the hand, we immediately understand that she want to hide her face because she's probably getting red and stuff like that. And it's super clear. And using those stuff, sometimes it can save you a lot of problem on being clear. It's just you use the hand and it goes naturally here. So you see, sometimes when you're sitting and there is a table and stuff, the hand is gonna go easier on the face. The stuff I talk about the face, the hand going on the face, it's more when and when you're nervous, when the emotion is high, is when you're standing, because when you're standing, it's a big it's a for the body, it's a big effort to go up to the face. But when you're sitting, it's way easier to get to those poses because you have the elbow here and you can get easily to this. So think of this as well. But when you're doing reference, you're gonna get naturally all those stuff. But sometimes think of this, like you have a long shot of a guy of a close-up like this, and you know that if you have nothing but the face, you're gonna have just something could be a bit boring. Sometimes think of this, like just someone like in trouble, like you get some weight on here, and you know that it's gonna be more work, but you know also you're gonna get some more credibility. It's gonna get the head gonna have some weight. You're gonna have some good pose. Other stuff here is like Jack is drunk, is super drunk, and you see like Brad Pitt doing this. He could just play without. But using the hand in very specific pose, like the finger in the eye, is something that you would never do if you're not drunk. But here,
That woman is something, you know? She was completely honest with me.
Your wife?
God, no. Jen. Big, listen, I need a favor. You know my old friend George over there? Wonder if you go talk to him. Tell him you were asking after.
It's Admin over there.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not asking you to fuck him. Just, you know, make him feel special.
Don't speak Cantonese.
cool. You see in this shot there are a lot of hands going on, and he plays really well the drunk guy through this hand. It's like the face he would do could be just a tired guy, but the hand is doing it's just like this pose here is like too much. It's too much on the on the. We don't see the mouth anymore, and
I'm not asking you to fuck him. Just, you know, make him.
and you see like the mechanics on the also on the hand shows a lot the movement here. It's very interesting how you can play almost an entire character with one hand.
Feel special.
And here like slapping his face. So it's very funny because if you do that in animation, like, oh my God, what the hell am I doing? Like it's slapping and stuff. It's very subtle here but it's working so well. It's
Special.
like if as an animator I would not have never think of this, of like a guy doing like this. But here it's working. So you see that you can be creative with hands. And I think it's something that you want to be creative with the hands. Don't play hands just like this and like this. You want to do stuff that's every time I have like a shot where I involve the hands, I always animate them that I never did before. Like I don't know, I'm using stuff like a tool that so there is a shape changing because of the tool is using like this stuff. So I'm deforming my hand differently for each stuff I'm doing. So it's never some, we talked about this last time. A question was about the library of hands of faces and stuff, because I feel like each shot is so different. I want to be creative. I want to show something specific to the shot. I'm gonna think of this. And here she's doing this little detail.
Fuck him. Just, make him.
Where is it? She's doing this little stuff here.
Yeah.
And you see the difference between him getting drunk and the hand is like this, and here she's very in control. She's very beautiful, and she's smoking a cigarette. She's not just smoking for her age. She's like getting dressed. She wants to be beautiful by doing it. She has this little delicate movement. Cool. And here it goes a bit further, that you see like the hand, it's really doing this stuff here, and then he's touching, so it makes all the connection with the characters, and it's really pushed the idea of him being drunk and you getting this very physical acting with the hand. As I told you, like usually don't put the hands because you think it's cool. If you use the hands in acting, there is a purpose. There is a level of intensity. There is this special character. For example, like this. Remember that I showed you reconnect this character over there. This Huck character is a very special guy. Like in the first episode, it was already like very scared character. And I had to do it after he used this poison that made him deformed and stuff. And he's shaking and he's full of like emotion going on. So
Anyway,
I'm using a lot the hands on the shot.
I don't want her to see me like this. Just tell her I'm sorry about everything. Okay?
So you see it, and it's on purpose because the characters it's really pushed in the actings. Like a normal guy would not speak like this, and just I wanted him to be like this, very a lot of stuff going on in here, and he tried to calm himself to see like this movement of like this, so you can say a lot with the hands. So after it's like getting shapes and stuff, I'm going to this, but this is a very a specific example. Don't think that all the character should speak like this. Here, for example, there is in this movie, I don't know if you guys saw it, but it's almost like a cartoon movie. Like it's a lot of it is very pushed the in acting, but also like the cinematography is very very pushed up to almost like a cartoon. If it was like an animation, it would probably be a cartoon. And some characters are cartoon. So, for example, take a look at this.
Jesus Christ! Is somebody gonna fix her face? Get her out of here! Fuck's sake, do you not know how to do makeup? You, what's your name? Tim, you're fired. What? You heard her, get the fuck off this set!
Okay, so everything goes so intense, and this character here, I checked in the other scene, and she's always playing like this. She's always like, you do this and that, and it's part of her character. So don't think it's normal to get this kind of pose. See, like for example, what I talked before, it's very far from the body. It's very pushed. It's very tense, and like this is very symmetrical. There is a lot of energy going on, but it's part of the character. she's almost like a, you know, this kind of secondary character in cartoon that make people laugh. In this movie, you have those. So they have a specific way to play, and be careful with that. I mean, like when you do it, you know that you do it, and you know why you do it. If I want to show something, for example, like about the level of intensity, if you push it to the maximum, there's this crazy scene where all the people get crazy because they don't succeed in like recording a scene.
Is that clear, Lloyd? Is that good for fucking sound? Now we are going again! Camera and motherfucking sound!
Okay, so this kind of scene is very specific, but you see that the hands are very high and very far from the body because of the intensity, and you can go very far, but still, even if it's super intense, you can see that it's still not. We don't have too much unless he's pointing something. We don't have acting so far from the body. Here, even if I'm very like anxious or very angry or whatever, check this distance here. Here it's not so far, but you can see that it could get high when you're very angry.
Going again!
So here it involves all the body, but the hands are just the continuum of this. Okay, here is more natural acting, a bit more natural here, and you see that two actors here playing with the hands, two different ways to play with the hands. One with a bit more hands, and there is a reason to that, and the other a bit more natural. Let's see.
I'm gonna fucking headbutt you. And is this gonna be what it's gonna be? You need to play better. You're embarrassing us.
Joe, you hear what he just said to me? Listen to this psychopath. When you gonna do something?
Why are you worried about Joe doing something? Nigga, when are you gonna do something? Have you ever heard of Alexander Scriabin?
Why the fuck do I care about Alexander Scriabin?
Alexander Scriabin was a Russian pianist. Broke his hands just so his fingers could stretch across the keys better. I'm saying, if I fucking headbutt you across them funky ass lips of yours, you might start playing a little better. We can hope.
Fucking deranged, Sidney.
Okay, so you see that one is playing a lot with the hand quite high, this kind of pose, but this thing is also smoking. So we talked in the first session about the contrast of poses. Here, because he's smoking, his hands is somewhere here at some point. So here, from here to there, it's already there. So you need to think of this as well. If you're having a cigarette like this, you can play like this. There's no problem for this. For the other guy, because he's standing, is playing like this. Is more like playing, even if the intensity here, the dialogue is quite intense. Still, it's not so intense like the one before, but still is talking about something they care. So they're talking like this. But you can see that the other is playing with the hands quite low and never very far. And him is playing with the hand a bit higher, probably because of the cigarette. But it's not so far either. It's somewhere here. Check this all the time. And after, he wants to go a bit more intense, so he brings the other hand as well. And you have this stuff here close to the chest here, but never too far, never that far like this. Okay, really the importance is like you can play all even higher, but check this. This means almost nothing, or I don't know, something very specific. This you can play a lot. Like I can do an acting like this and blah blah, or here or whatever. Just check this distance, super important.
So his fingers could stretch across the keys better. I'm saying, if I fucking headbutt you.
Here you can see how much creative you can be with the hand, using the prop, having these shapes and stuff.
Fucking headbutt you across them funky.
Here it comes from this shape here, very clean, very clear. Boop. To this stuff here, making like the circle, it goes naturally to some other shape with an overlap here. It's very interesting. That's why references are so important, because you cannot think all this all the time. You need to force yourself to do a lot of reference up to the level or of you can start having some creative stuff by accident, and you do it once and you're like, oh, that's nice. Maybe I can try to redo it to make it better with other stuff, or just sometimes you can't redo it because it was just an accident, and just put it in your Maya and it's working.
Them funky ass lips of yours, you might.
Like this shot here, I showed you this one here. I didn't have reference working because I was at home and stuff, and I just was looking in the mirror and just did some stuff like that. Like, maybe it's nice. This maybe I do this, and I see it. So it's still by observation that I took those stuff, and after by crafting a bit, like drawing and stuff. But it's still, you need to be able to observe from reality. Let's finish this stuff here.
Did you can I ask a question?
Yes. Yeah, sure.
Did you animate straight ahead for that shot without the reference? Or
I did the blocking.
Okay.
So I never do straight ahead like on spline, but the blocking, yes, was I do usually do I don't know if it's straight ahead, because I still do a very not rough in terms of like my poses are not rough, but I do very few poses to get my idea right. And after I do a pose with like on fours or so on, I'm gonna show you again. Like I use the same methodology almost on this shot here, except here I add the reference, but at some point, after after you do a lot of naturalistic, realistic animation, you start to understand what's going on with the body, what's going on with the physicality, and you can do it without reference. But first, you need to do a lot of with reference and try to analyze, or even not doing animation, just analyzing some poses, analyzing some stuff, understanding what's going on, and after you can do stuff like looking like realistic without any reference behind.
Thank you.
No worries.
Oh, fucking deranged, Sydney. Start playing a little better.
One stuff that not to forget about the hands is the connectivity. So usually the hands are connected to the mind, and the mind is connected to an accent. So if I do something like this, I need to get it connected, of course, physically, but also in the intention. So think of this when you do this. If I analyze this, for example, whoop, I do like this change. You have this pose here, and if I see the change of the pose, it goes with the change of the pose of the characters. Go leaning here, changing the pose here. So don't think of the hand having like a brain itself. It's connected to your brain. So think of this. Okay. Let's keep going. It's already late, but it's cool. I have still stuff to show you. About the face, I think we talked about it. I think I might go further in the face, in the connectivities of the muscles and stuff like that. Probably in the next session, because I think it goes with the lip sync and stuff. But I want to show you a bit what I did and my workflow, because I showed you, what I showed you last time was my blocking. So I'm gonna show you again my blocking. And I had like not so much time this week to work, but you're gonna see that it's quite fast. When you have like a good blocking, it's quite fast to spline. So for me, I'm gonna do something because I think it's important. For me, in terms of like time, you want to use as professional. So this is the time you have to do your animation. I use I use the third stuff, so this is blocking. And with the blocking, there is a part of reference here, maybe. Okay, this is blocking, this is spline, and this is refining or polishing. So it means like this, because sometimes we hear like half blocking, half spline. This is not gonna happen. At least not in feature movies. It's never happening. We spend a lot of time refining. Sometimes what can happen is this. Spline, blocking, and refining. This is a lot of work. This is a lot of work, but this is easy work. For at least for me, the refining is always somewhere where I can put the music on and just relax and just do my checklist. The checklist I'm gonna give you when we get to there. But here is more like something where your brain is working and you really want to make it work. Okay. So where is the spline? So I didn't finish my spline, but I did a good part of it in one after work. So it means like maybe like two hours and a half or something. Didn't finish it though. So here is my spline. No, here is my blocking, sorry. So this is what I got last time.
You spent talking to me about the things you found in your little donkey shite that day. 2 hours, Porrig. I timed it.
Well, it wasn't me little donkey.
The other night, 2 hours you spent talking to me about the things you found in your little donkey shite that day. 2 hours, Porrig. I timed it.
Well, it wasn't me little.
See that? So this is key poses for me. So this is it's not too dense. There's not so much poses. So I still have some like little arc informations and stuff like that. I don't know if I can draw. No, I can't draw on this software, but I still have some arc information, a little bit of breakdown, a little bit of expression. I think everything I want to be, I want my shot to be clear is there, and the only thing I don't have, it's just like the little shakes, maybe like this right hand here, left hand is pretty dead. I don't have information on here, but it's not a big deal because it's easy to put on. I think all the rest, the shapes I have, I like them. I don't have any shape problem. I think the shape are very clean and clear. So I can go to the next phase. So basically what I do, so not yet, but here what I'm doing after that, it's a very specific workflow I have that I changed years after years to get to this very specific way to do that I keep doing because it's working very easily, but it needs to be clean. You know, your blocking needs to be clean. When I'm done with my blocking, I won't add any more poses after what I have here, because all the poses I'm gonna add are probably gonna get removed in spline because I'm gonna clean my curves and all the stuff I put on gonna be destroyed. So what I get to on those poses here, you see like my timeline. So I have 200, I think it was 212 or 21, yeah, frames of animation. And I have like, I don't know how many, but like sometimes it's just one pose here. No. You see that if I take the head here, yes, it is pretty much what I have. So here is like eight frames. Sometimes it's like 10 frames, something like this. I don't need much more. I'm gonna add detail after. So what I do is I take the whole body on my first frame, or I get to -1 just to be sure. Boop, I go to -1 here. I get my whole all my controls here, and I'm gonna do something like mute all. Okay, I mute all my controls. So here is not gonna mute all because here is just rotation and translation. So it's basically almost all mute, but I'm gonna have some scale happening. So I'm gonna make sure I mute everything. So what I do here is I mute all, but something I do even before muting all. So I go to -1 again. Oop. So basically my technique is starting with the roots, going splining the roots, after splining the spine, splining the head, splining the arms, splining the face. And when I say splining, it's really splining, putting the details and so on. Only thing I'm not gonna do is pixel pixel change, pixel like this is refining, but I want all my movement, all my little stuff here. So what I do to get this done? So there is you have plenty of options. The option I prefer is basically taking the neck, for example, and I'm gonna scale it. So I go to -1, so I'm sure I'm not destroying any animation, and I'm scaling this to 0.01. So the head goes like this, and I'm doing the same with the head. Size 0.01. Oh, this is not working. Okay, so I'm gonna get this minus something. Boop. So the head disappears, and I do the same with the arms and everything. So I get. So if you have like a way to hide it, it's easier on a layer or something. But if you can't, you can still do this, and basically it's fun and it's working. So I use this to get my scale. Oh yes, this is not working because I'm in IK, but I put this in FK and then I scale it, so I can scale everything. So you get the idea. And after, when I'm done with doing this, I mute everything. So I take all my controls, I say them mute all, so I have no animation anymore in just one pose with just my trunk. Okay. Just want to have my spine and my roots. And after when I have that, I take my root control and I unmute. Okay. And then I look at my reference and I animate so I take those, I put them in spline and I animate. I don't do the whole shot like this. I always do like 30 frame, let's say 30 frames, and I clean those 30 frames. Okay, I do 30 frames when they're clean with the root. I do all the good movement, very small. The root should be very subtle because it's sitting, so almost no animation, but still a little bit. When I'm good with the root, boom, I unmute the two FK spine, the three FK spine, and mute, and then animate those. We talked about it, how much it's important to get those done. Okay, those two stuff, those FK spine. So I get this in the end, root and spine, for example. I usually do root and spine almost together because I don't want to do too much animation in the root. So here we go.
The other night, 2 hours you spent talking to me about the things you found in your little donkey shite that day. 2 hours, Porrig. I timed it.
Well, it wasn't me little donkey.
I think I put it on here. It's gonna be easier to look at it. So you see there is a lot of information in here, and it's probably the most important stuff that most of you forget. It's what's happening on here.
The other night, 2 hours you spent talking to me about the things you found in your little donkey shite that day. 2 hours, Porrig. I timed it.
Well, it wasn't me little donkey.
It's very simple animation. It's just like an FK chain to animate. But I want to have all the contraction, all the little stretch and squash, all the orientation right. I sometimes push it a bit so I see stuff, but because I craft all my curves, I know that after, if it's too much, I just go take my curve and just flat a bit the curve, and I still have the movement just a bit more subtle. I just want to have all this. So you see, I take really a close look of my reference to see where this is going. So this is why, for me, this methodology is easy, because I have a reference, it's good, it's working. I just have to take a very close look of it. Here, I have this rotation going on, and I want it to have it there. I have it, it's working. I know that my spine is working. Okay?
Hours you spent talking to me about the things you found in your little donkey shite that day. 2 hours, Porrig. I timed it.
Well, it wasn't.
You see, all the rotation are in the three axes all the time. A little bit of this, a little bit of X, a little bit of Z, never in one axis. Never, never, never. And if you look at your reference, you're gonna see that we're not robots. We have like we're moving. So when this is done, then I unmute the neck and the head. Always work the neck with the head, never the neck alone, unless it's very complicated, like some stuff are going on like this. Maybe I'm gonna isolate the neck, but usually I do the neck plus the head. So here I put the mask on just to be sure I'm not distracted by the face, because I didn't animate the face yet. So I put this stuff. It's something I do sometimes. Most of the time I put something here so I make sure I'm focused on the head movement. And here there's a bit more work maybe, because there's a lot of accent and stuff, but not so much because I did already all the body. The head is involved like this with the body already. So my work is half done. And that's why I do layers, because all the time that I add something on top, it's already half done. So on here we go.
The other night, 2 hours you spent talking to me about the things you found in your little donkey shite that day. 2 hours, Porrig. I timed it. The other night, 2 hours you spent talking to me about the things you found in your little donkey shite that day. 2 hours, Porrig. I timed it. The other night, 2 hours you spent talking to me about the things you found in your little donkey shite that day. 2 hours, Porrig. I timed it.
Again, it's not perfect. There is some stuff here, for example, which is too pin on the screen. It's a bit like disconnected, but it's okay because it's not refining. I'm just getting all the ideas there with the good timing, the good spacing, the good intention here, the good intention and keeping the good posing. So what I do when I don't have a reference, which happens a lot, less and less because I'm getting better at making reference. But when I don't have a reference, what I do is, instead of having my reference here with all my little information, after I found my ideas in blocking, I put my blocking on here in my reference, and I put my blocking here. And then when I do my spline here, I think of like which movement would fit between this pose and this pose. Oh, maybe this little movement here. And this is how you can do some highly detailed animation without a reference. Just you need to put your blocking here. So you're gonna have like your character doing like some movement, and while you spline, you think of all the rules we talked about in the first session, and here with the hands, with the intention to just shake and stuff. And because I have this knowledge, I can add stuff. I can add this little movement here. Okay, oh, it would be nice if this changed the orientation of the head and so on. But I keep my blocking in a reference here. Why? Because what is the problem, I would say the weakness of this methodology I show you here, is you can go off-road. That means like you spline and you don't see your arms and you don't see your face, and you start doing stuff like this because you want to have a good intention here. So to not go off-road, I want to have the blocking or the reference close to me, very, very close to me, and see, okay, is it going good? Yes. Is it too pushed? Or maybe. Okay, I'll go back to this. Okay, don't go crazy. So the weakness of it needs a bit of abstraction. You need to be able to think of like what is the root going on, and even without the head and stuff, and think, okay, the root maybe is doing just something simple, like just some few stuff like this, and you have like this very and I do this a lot for body mechanics, not just for acting. I do a lot for body mechanic. I'm gonna do a walk, for example. I'm gonna do the root just moving and do like this very dung 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 like this, very mechanical, just with the root. But then because my root is clean, I can add like the spine, and already with the spine it starts to show some connectivity. And after with the arms and stuff, then I build up my stuff like this. But it needs to have a good blocking. If you don't have a good blocking with this methodology, you're gonna have some, like weird stuff happening because you can not use the good. You're not gonna hit the good pose. Let's in Maya, do you use auto tangent or spline tangent? So I use auto tangent because I have this reflex of press D just all the time, and it just flattens my curve. So basically, when I'm splining, I am a lot in my graph editor, and I am I'm gonna show you a bit. Basically, I craft my curves. So I'm splining, I do my movement visually, and after I go, and because I do one controller per one controller, so I told you, except for those two here, those three, I always use them. I'm gonna show you because my scene is open here. So here I spline also the arms, but the left arm is not splined yet. I just did a rough pass on it. But
the other night, 2 hours you spent talking to me about the things you found in your little donkey shite that day. 2 hours, Porrig. I timed it.
But because it's just one controller per one controller, the arm here, the right arm you see here, it was like 15 minutes of work for 220 frame. It's very easy because like it's just an FK that everything is made by the body already. So I just had like to push a bit, and my pose were there already. So I just had to just do some arc here and there and some change some timing. But basically, if I look at those and I open my graph editor, where are you? Graph editor here, and I take the root and so on, or the head, for example. So you see, like on here, I don't go crazy in the cleaning, but here, basically, it's super simple. It's just what it needs. After in refining, I'm probably gonna go and fix some stuff on here to get this like this, and probably okay, it's lagging. But at least the direction of my head, the direction of like all the movement are in the graph editor. Here my spline was made quite fast, so my curve is probably not so clean. But the curves are crafted. I mean, it's like they're not. I don't work only in my timeline and not open the graph editor and just visually play it. I always look at the curve, change from the curve. So it's lagging. Okay, it's okay. All right. So after what I was saying is like probably after in the refining, I'm gonna look at each movement on here and probably craft a bit more up the curve to not have something so smooth and boring. So I'm gonna probably like tighten all this, but I prefer. Maybe it's stupid. You know what? I prefer putting more keys and have a solid curve than using the tangents and accidentally press D and just lose my whole animation. And because in the studios you give your shot to someone else that's gonna fix, the stuff and so on, I prefer having like a solid curves. I know that nothing's gonna move. That's why I don't use tangent. But I guess people using tangent, probably it's faster, and I think it's not bad to use this. It's just I am a bit scared of like destroying my my shot. So I prefer putting like this and crafting a bit by by putting points everywhere. So here you get the idea of like how I spline. So here I did the arms, and because they are on the table, I didn't do the elbow, the shoulders yet. And I think it's something that's it's important to get is like the shoulders. I could do the shoulders before the arms, but sometimes I do the shoulders after the arms because the arms are on here, and I want just my shoulder to be a connection between my body and my arm. So there's not so much intention in the shoulders. It's like more connectivity pass. So I'm gonna do this after, but it's exactly the same. Like I'm gonna look at the reference, look at my shot, and just spline what I see in my arm. So see, it goes like this, and already I have like a very detailed animation on here. There's a lot of stuff going on. There is a lot of like realistic detail stuff, and I just look at my reference, exaggerate some stuff, remove some stuff here and there. Sometimes there add some stuff that I didn't want. It was too noisy, too weird that I just simplified some stuff, but mainly look at it and take the essence of it and put it on your animation. But then it needs to be very close look, as you see. It's very, very sometimes tiny detail. It's a technique. This technique here is not the layer one, but the technique of like putting a reference close to your animation and kind of like take a very, very close look at it. It's the base to be able to do realistic animation. Like in the studio, most of the animators do that. They do like the best reference you can make, put it on Maya, and try to copy it. And after we push some stuff to make it more organic, more weight, more design and stuff. But if you're not able at all to put your reference in Maya, it's gonna be very hard to have something really realistic. You're always gonna have something a bit cartoony going on. Okay. And I think that's it for today. Maybe you guys have some questions about all this. I'm gonna keep making this shot. It's only for you because it's the first time I use this character and I have no point, but it starts to be fun. So,
Clément, I have a question about the
the
trunk
chest.
of the body.
Yeah.
That you say that I remember in another class, you say for doing this texture, this movement, you took the two controllers of here and move it at the same time, at the same direction, and then you took the inferior one.
Yes.
And in the graph editor, you did something like, okay, if there's two go like this, then I will do this. So
I'm gonna show you.
Cool. Thank
I'm
you.
gonna show you. It's very easy and it's something you see the X rotation here. I isolate. It's the same curves. That means like those two controllers, they have the exact same animation here. And if I take the other one here, it's the opposite curve. See, like here it goes down, here it goes up, and here it goes up, here it goes down. So it's not the same intensity. Sometimes you could have a bit more of this and a bit less of the other. But here is like if I look at my animation in 3D on here, if I scroll, you can see this little stuff here. See, like the back is going forward like this, and this is natural. This is as I told last time. I think it's even like this how you breathe. Like you breathe, it's like your muscles on here and the intercostal muscle like make your your bones move. They're connected here and in the back. So to make those moves in the back, it's a very tiny like this. Your back is doing a bit like this. And this is how you even breathe. So those stuff is all the time. So that's why you will never have something if you're standing, if you have any constraint, it's always moving a bit. So this stuff, it's super easy to do and super interesting also about the shape because the difference between 3D and 2D is here. You can really have like some slight detail inside the shape here. In 2D, it's very hard to get something working because you in 2D you work with the the pan the screen, but here you can the space between this and this can move a bit, and you get this naturally by this. If I want to push it, and I do it a lot, if I want to push it for some posing or some pose or some intention, I do a bit of translate on the chest here. So here you see this is my Y translate on my chest. So I do sometimes to push this up and down like this so I don't want to do it too much to have this. And if I want to have visually something a bit more like the 2D animator would do, I just do a bit of this, a bit of translate, animate this, and just like emphasize this. Cool. Is there
Thank you.
I have.
No worries. Yes,
Can
you have a
you-
question? Sure.
Me? Yes?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I have two questions.
Yes.
One, what you were talking with the hands, it's exactly the problem I had. The hands are very long. She has she's almost frontal, like 3/4, but it's frontal, and the hands are in front of her. Either I will have gaps here,
Yes.
negative space, or I have to push the hands further from the character in order to have a nice composition. So I was fighting with that, and I ended up with pushing the hands forward for the composition.
Yes. So sometimes, yes, the characters we're using are a bit difficult with that, especially with the stuff going on here. First, it's because like usually the skinning there is no cloth, so usually the skinning is like this, so it's easier to get like all this negative space. If there were clothes going on, it would be easier. But also sometimes it's just because the body is very specific shapes and stuff. And so what you can do, you can cheat a bit if it's in the shape, like think like a 2D animator. And then like if my hand is like here, it's fine because it's still in the shape. But if it's there, it shows that it's far from me. So sometimes if you put the hands inside the main shape of the character, it's still working. But then, other than that, to fix this kind of problem, you have what we call it reshaping, and like in feature movies, we do that a lot. Of like we take stickies and stuff, and we remodel a bit this part of the character to make it work. But I don't have like a specific solution for you. Maybe I'm gonna look at your shot if you send it after, like maybe this week.
I sent it.
And
it's already there. Yes.
Okay.
And the
So
last one.
yeah, let's see. But I might do some drawovers. Okay, so this is
The
there,
last
and
one. Yeah.
okay. Yes, I see what you talking about. This stuff here, and it's not too bad, but you could maybe try to get the stuff going on like this. It could work still. You can push a bit this stuff here. Here is not too bad. Here it's still working. I feel like sometimes it's just the shape of the character is different and it gives you negative space and it's okay. Sometimes you need maybe to change a bit the orientation of the pose. For example, I'm pretty sure if you go a bit more 3/4 with her, you can have like the chest a bit more like that, and maybe it's gonna remove a bit of that. Okay, so I think it's not too bad what you have now, but I see what you mean. It looks forward. So also maybe the arms are a bit long. I don't know. Maybe
They're very long.
so if the arms are a bit too long, you could just scale them down a bit, and then. But I had this problem sometimes with the stuff of like having to change the stuff, otherwise it looks a bit like this. So you could scale a bit the arms. It's just if you see that it would be better to get the stuff close to you like this instead of like this. But then if you have too much of this, you can maybe like try to use the perspective, and then if it doesn't
I
work,
tried it.
yeah, if
Then
it
I had
doesn't,
another problem.
yeah,
The
then maybe
lats,
scale them. Yeah.
yeah, scale, because then the lats are very like if I bring the hands behind the lats, it doesn't look well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, maybe scale them down. It could work.
And
Cool. Yeah.
I have
Other
another
question?
question. Yes, I had a lot of problem with shaping the eyebrows, and I wanted to ask if there is something I can add on top of the rig. And I heard you were talking about this sticky, something I don't know. Maybe maybe I should learn this and it would help me.
The sticky is very easy to use. Mainly, it's just like basically, but apparently it doesn't work with Maya 2023, so you need Maya 2022.
Maya 22.
And then it's the sticky is just, there is a box and you can click of like adding sticky. You get your mesh here. You click on add sticky on like a vertex or so on, and then it's gonna put a controller here. For example, if you take this vertex here, it add like a controller that gives you like, and there is I think a radius that you can change, and it makes you can reshape stuff. You can push it, like bring it. So if you want to reshape a bit your eyebrows, you could probably use stickies, but yeah, they seems very soft, and like you need the eyebrows, I think, should be a bit more solid like this. Think of like it's like the shape of the eyes, like I told you guys. Like don't have stuff too much soft, and try to get some really hard lines, hard curves. And when you have those hard lines, you can bend them a bit and get those stuff. And the same for the eyebrows. It's always a bit better to get some very clean hard lines. Cool.
Sticky should help me with
Sticky,
that.
you can do a lot of things. It's just a lot of work. So I don't recommend to be the first solution. If you can make it work without, is better. But I I cannot tell, like in refining or even sometimes in my key pose, I use a lot of stickies to reshape stuff a lot of time. But yeah, it takes some time. But the main pose here with it looks nice already. Cool, good job. I'm gonna look at it this week.
And one last question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Do you think while blocking about the overlapping and or do you think about mostly in spline, like the
Follow
overlaps?
through overlaps and stuff. I think it depends of the elements. Like if it is something that it's important for the shot or not. Like for example, like I don't know if I'm I don't know. I don't know if I'm like doing an acting and I have this stuff here and I'm doing like this kind of acting like this, I'm gonna definitely do this in blocking because it's one of the main thing of my shot. So like if I'm doing like this, I'm gonna do all the little already some breakdown and some overlap and stuff. If it's just the hair of the character or some stuff like that, I usually do that after because I know it's not gonna change the intention. Just gonna. But sometimes the hair, like it's like Jinx in Arcane, there's this big hair like this. You need to think of it in blocking already because it's part of the character. It's like a character itself. Like it's by the way very very time consuming to animate those hair. I was doing like this shot on my God, this shot was wild. Where are you? Where uh all right. So where are you on here? Sorry. It just open with keyframe. All right. Okay. Where is this shot again? Okay, yeah, it's this one. But about this one here, so about being creative with the hands, it goes with all the features of the character. For example, here, the idea was the character to spin in the screen and getting to this slow-mo mode. And so I knew I had to do something cool here, and so I did. I proposed this idea of the hair going in this pose, so her playing with the hair like this, and so I had to do this posing already with the hair going in those poses. See, like this is not just follow through. It's not just overlapping. It's like intention of the shot going, because this hair you see here, it just frame by frame crafted. There's no way to animate this in 3D just with two poses. Everything is hand keyframed. And here the intention was my intention was to do stuff like that. So it's the same here. You need to put it in blocking, and the rig was not made for this, so it was a lot of keyframe with stickies like all over the arm, all over the hair. It was a mess. I spent too much time on this shot for sure. And also like the little anecdote for this, like my director, anime director was like, okay, on this shot, I want to have like this slow-mo mode. You know the slow-mo mode you have on your phone. You know the one you get in your phone and just it goes to slow-mo like this. I was like, yeah, sure. But by this day, I had no smartphone, and I had an idea of like what was this slow-mo mode, and it wasn't this, so I had to redo the slow-mo mode. So I thought it was getting slow-mo in like 1 or 2 frame, which actually goes a bit slowly in the slow motion. So and I was a bit too confident on it, so I worked on it and showed it in the end. I was like, hey, done. And then my director was like, it's not this. So I had to rework a lot. So it happened. So don't be too confident. Sometimes just show to the supervisor is super important. You're gonna save some time. But yes, so for the overlap, I would say it really depends. Cool. Yes, do we have some other question? Because now it's late, but it's all right. Is it all good for everybody? No other question?
Should we add more breakdowns? For example, like the pass that I already made, should I add the breakdowns and
Yes,
show
for
it
the
like
for the
that?
next time, yeah, for the next time for sure you can you can get to the point where you add the breakdown. Don't go too crazy.
Too
So
far.
don't go too far in the blocking. For especially for acting, I suggest not going to the twos, going on twos in blocking, because it's the movement are very tiny. It's very subtle, and the graphics are just good for this. Your eyes are gonna go too far. So yes, for sure, for those who made like a blocking with just the key poses, push it a bit where you see the like roughly my blocking was there. You see,
The other night,
well,
2 hours you spent talking to me about the things you found in your little donkey shite that day.
I want to be able to read all the movements, but note all the details. See, like
2 hours, Porrig. I timed it.
and again, I use a lot the twin machine for doing the breakdown a lot. I'm basically after you did your key poses, it goes super fast with the twin machine, just using the pose between boop 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 and changing some stuff here and there, and you can go quite fast without too much effort. So yes, for the next time you can go a bit further in your blocking. For those who made already blocking that are okay with that, you can start doing. If you want to try my methodology, I recommend at least to try it once. Sometimes what I said to my animators and the season 2 and when I was leading, I said to them, try it on a shot where you're confident, when like a small shot, you know that you're gonna succeed in it, not a complicated shot, but a small shot where you know that you can do it easily, and try this methodology. And I had like really good feedback from it. Like some people using this for example, body mechanics that were not very comfortable with body mechanic. They learned a lot by just thinking of the routes and isolate the other control. It becomes very easy to animate like this because you just have one control to animate. So if you know how to animate a box, you know how to animate a pelvis, a root, I mean. And if your root is good, then the spine gonna get just good. It's a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of twist like this. But with this and the reference, it becomes quite easy to do it, and there is not so much pressure if you don't have time to do. You see, like I didn't finish the arm. It's all right. I know that I need to finish an arm. It's not a mess of like, okay, I'm inside my spline, and I have like all those controls together to animate, and like it's a gigantic mess. I don't know. Or maybe I did a bit of the face, a bit of the neck. I don't know. Maybe a bit of the shoulders. So here it's like very, step by step. Okay, like this after this after that after that. It's also how I survive in animation, because it can be a bit overwhelming. It can be a bit like, it's too complicated here and there, and also at some at a feature movie level, you have so much detail, you have so much stuff to put on. You can't just miss stuff here and there. Oh, I missed the shoulder, or I missed the neck control here. So you need to have a very organized way of work so you can push stuff. I went to this methodology after my an animator went into Fortiche, and I was storyboarding at this moment, and I saw his shots, and I was like, the hell, like it's so pushed, it's so nice, there's so much detail, and my animation were working, but just like two 2D animation, like there I didn't have this level of detail. So I uh, changed my methodology, so I have like this very step by step, very like it's like building a house. You don't want to do okay, there is the window here, and like this little maybe the lighting here is gonna be like this. No, you just put the foundation first, the walls, and after you put the stuff, and in the end you can do the little decoration on the wall. But don't think of the decoration first. Just need to anticipate this. And this guy went after he went as an animator, he became anime director after that, and we worked together and now and it's really, it changed my mind just by showing to me the new standard, and I think this is why also I do this shot for you guys. It's just to show you what is a standard. Also, it's just because sometimes you can do animation and have a retakes on it and change some stuff and so on. But having like like it's like, I don't know if you guys know Kim Jong-gi, the very famous artist. And for drawing, I used to draw with always a book of Kim Jong-gi close to me open. And so my standard is when I look up and I stop drawing, I look at it. I'm like, okay, this is the standard. And I think in animation the same. You should look at really like high standards to have some stuff to reach, and not especially for realistic, because it's a lot of details, a lot of work. Always looking at stuff to push yourself a bit. Thank you so much.